or your ability to serve your clients. Call us today at 450-4638 or visit us on the ground floor of the American Drywall Building at Vidbutai. The Computer Store, meeting your demands in the IT world.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get through. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load. With tropical shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with tropical. Can't wait. No packets to big, no small. I cannot wait to ship with tropical. No packets too big, too small. Just ship with tropical.
Tropical Shipping St. Lucia Limited, located on Manuel Street. Telephone number 4570900. Visit www.tropical.com. And welcome to Vaval Central and Radio Caribbean International. Let me say good morning to my brother Teddy.
Good morning to Iwa. Good morning.
Morning, my brother.
Your Facebook people going crazy. Are you on Facebook? Are you on?
Yes.
Check whether you're on.
Yes.
Welcome to Vaval Central after an interesting weekend. Yes, we're on, Iwa. The interesting weekend we're on. We're already on. Looking forward to a number of developments during the week. Of course, a bumper week expected here on Vaval Central. Lots of artists. Today is relatively quiet with what we call Listening Monday, Iwa. Always a listening. We have former Chief Judge Mr. Herrell will be in. That is one of our main features to elucidate a number of issues there with the judging and the approaches to judging. And St. Lucia, of course, await the results for the semi-finals. We'll be going to that in just a bit. Any minute now, expecting the results of the semi-finals as to who made it to the finals for the Calypso Monarch competition. And of course, big activity this afternoon with the semi-finals of the Soca Monarch. The Soca Monarch semi-finals this evening, starting at 6 o'clock, Cultural Center. A big event, Groovy and Soca, 20 in each category. They will be selecting 9 in each category to move on to the finals of Groovy and Power Soca. Also, on the weekend, Soufre having a postponement of the carnival, and a date to be announced. Mikudo having quite a ball, a very impressive, very almost spontaneous pre-carnival jam on Motorgate was very impressive, while Denry announcing that it will be a massive weekend with the big pre-Juve jam, then the parade of bands, and they have a week later the Kiddies Carnival and other activities. And Surrey and Canaries getting ready for their major carnival activities. Steel Band, they are also in preparation mode. The steel band, the different steel bands vying for Panorama title. That will be one of the major events in ensuring the artistry and the tradition and culture in Carnival that is not all about bacchanalia but also developmental and keeping true artistry and skill alive in the Carnival. Someone just asking, we reminded, as we said earlier, $20 only is the fee to support the artists. Very reasonable, very concessionary fee and price by the CPMC. That will be the admission fee for this afternoon. Of course, the Carnival Queens had a very impressive motorcade on the weekend. I got glimpses of it. The culmination at Rodney Bay was really very impressive. A nice feature where they virtually stopped traffic using the main pedestrian crossing on the Rodney Bay Strip, and it really went on well. The optics, the visuals were very impressive, and the public rallying as the countdown is on to one of the more exciting events in Carnival, the Carnival Queen Show, having its own area of support and people who really look forward to the pageants, the national pageant being a main attraction. As we said, yes, people again messaging, any time now we have the results, who made it to the finals of Calypso for this year over at the Big Yard in the SAB. We're playing some pans still before we get to the next tune, and then going hopefully to come to the results of the Calypso competition very soon.
I don't know what happened there, but Teddy, my track you play. Let me just get another one quickly. Let me just see if I could get another play by them. So,
here we go!
Vaval Central.
Remember that one, Iwa? Lots of memories. That one, the Panorama, the days, the different venues, Marshall Grounds, the Geese Banana Shed. The VG complex for a long time was the home of Panorama, a very long time, the home of Panorama. So we're looking forward indeed to seeing the glory returning to Panorama. 6 bands expected in this year's Panorama. In fact, they're looking to do the dipping. Interesting feature, they requested that the dipping be done live on Vaval Central on Thursday hour. The dipping for positions for the order of appearance. As we said, we are encouraging everyone to come and support the Soca semi-finals this evening over at the Cultural Center. Promises to be extremely exciting indeed as they build up towards the big finals in the big yard. The list of the finalists, those who qualified from last night, to be announced any minute now. We are lined up and queued. Iwa, who do we have next?
Educator. Protecting the victory on Vaval Central.
To protect your victory, certain things protect your victory. Put Shas in custody until he agreed to return the vaccine money. That's the only way to protect your victory. That's the only way. That's the only way to protect your victory. That's the only way. Once yellow man still makes my skin crawl. Nothing is protected at all.
We go from educator protecting the victory of Vaval Central. Teddy.
Educator, as the reminder, also another event on the calendar. Educator, one of the semi-finalists yesterday, and as you say, the announcement is imminent of those who qualified for the big finals of the Calypso Monarch competition. Any minute now it will be coming through, and we will be announcing straight away to the public who made it in the final 9 to go and challenge Desrel. Desrel, of course, a performer. Yesterday, it's a few years that the Calypso Monarch has not used their prerogative there to perform at the Calypso semi-finals. That happened yesterday along with Aileen Ayla. She was also a guest performer and, of course, tear down the place. Your favorite girl, Aileen Ayla, the exercise. Pierre. And she did very well yesterday. We're looking forward to seeing who the guest artists will be. We've really been advocating and pushing that Freddie should be one with his very popular song, one of the guest appearances, guest performance over at the finals. Sizzler was on yesterday too. Sizzler has been enjoying good response from the crowds this year, and he speaks of the parents. What do you have for him, Iwa?
What parents do on Vaval Central.
Eat the brass. Them to be all that they could be, and when they get lost, you get cross, but you never leave them behind. Get that parents crying on TV. My son was a good boy. Don't know why somebody would hurt him. Their character we dislike. We don't play our parents' role, it's up, yes. Or we'll never call them this, yes. That's what parents do. They always love you, whether wrong or right. For you they will fight. So that's what parents do. They're not like your boo. They would turn on you when things go south with you. From the womb to the tomb, with your welfare they consumed. Et tout bêtise language à faire. Look my parents there. Look my parents there. Look my parents. Look my parents there. Look my parents there. Hit the Vaval Central. For those who don't know, this is how it goes. Whether you have a strength, your kids are paramount. What they are taught and told helps to shape their world. So when they flop, just give up. Parents cannot be nonchalant. You see, there's a norm in this country. We embrace just winners, but in the household there shouldn't be winners or losers. so their kids would leave them instead. That's what parents do. They always love you while you're out at night. They cannot sleep tight. No, that's what parents do. They're not like your move. They will turn on you when things go south. It's true. From the room to the tomb, with your welfare they consumed. Oh, some call me Abu Bebe. My parents are there. Me, oh, look my parents there. Look my parents, look my parents there. Look my parents there. Hit the prize. This relaxed approach of parenting is cool, but it could harm your child. No rules or guidelines. Exactly why you find lack of discipline, crime rising, just like grass and let kids go wild. Most parents are known enablers. Their kids can do no wrong. How can these kids make good decisions? They're used to wrong and strong. And when they break the law and they're held in jail, guess whose house puts up for their bail? That's what parents do. They always love you while you're out at night. They cannot sleep tight. No, that's what parents do. They don't like your food. They will turn on you when things go south. It's true. From the room to the tomb, with your welfare they consume. Murder is in charge, they don't care. For you they are there. Me, oh, look your parents there. Look your parents, look your parents there. Look your parents there. Hit the prize. Thank you.
Mighty Sizzler on Vaval Central. What parents do, Teddy?
Yes, and indeed, as he said, we do have the results there from the officials. We're making the point that 9 will be selected to go on in each category. 9 for the semi-finals on to finals of Calypso, and the similar situation for the Groovy and Power. On this evening, out of the 20 in each subgenre, each category, only 9 will be selected to go on to compete with the reigning monarchs. In the case, Ricky T is the defending champion in the Groovy Soca, and of course Frost. We want to play him a little later, Iwa. Frost, the defending champion in the Power Soca competition, to run him and play his tune. He's indicated he's competing with his tune Bangkok that he released a little early on. We want to give more airplay to that again today. As we remind everyone, we have the build up to the Queen Show, $150, the tickets, that going like hot bread, as they say. So we're to look forward to that over at the Pavilion in Ordney Bay. And reminding you, it's Listening Monday, as we call it here. Time to get some substance in and to clear up some issues for our Vavalists, our carnival lovers, to really put them on track. It was well received last Monday. Remember, I was going through the criteria and different approaches to it. Today we have one of the most respected chief judges in the recent times in Calypso. Mr. Herrell is here with us, and he'll go through a lot of the issues. But the anxiety and the suspense is on for the results. You have it came through.
I have it.
Well, the public listening, the judging panel yesterday, along with the CMMC and the CPMC, they would have done the job. The panel met, and they would have passed on the results, the official results. Go ahead, Iwa.
T. Caro, ready. T.C. Brown, T. Blacks, Oshun, Wally, Queen Yards, Mighty Sizzler, and Mystic. Again, T. Caro, Ready, T.C. Brown, T. Blacks, Oshun, Wally, Queen Yards, Mighty Sizzler, Mystique.
That's the nine. The nine who have gone through. I will on to. They will be doing battle with Desrol, who is on over at the finals. The big finals happening, Calypso finals. Mr. Herrell is here. He's a former chief judge. He would have his own reflections. The judge's decision is final, but persons have their own thoughts, no doubt, as Calypso fans, and he as a judge, on the approaches to the season generally, the different trends, what he's seen throughout the season, what to look out for in the upcoming competitions, both Calypso and soca. You could read that 20 times, people still just missing it and just tuning in.
Yes.
They want you to go through the 9 persons they were qualified yesterday.
T. Caro, Ready, T.C. Brown, T. Blacks, Oshun, Wally, Queen Yards, Mighty Sizzler, and Mystique.
That's the 9 finalists. A lot to comment on the interesting list of the finalists as they came through. So, Iwa, we're going to waste no time. You're going to go to your break and then come back with the discussion there on Calypso finals as we go through. The lists having been released. There'll be another list tomorrow, same time, when the finalists of the Soca Monarch, the judges, the panel of judges, and Mark Sifley, the chief judge, and his team would have done their job. They too will be doing their jobs this evening. So quick out to a commercial break and come back here to the studio with former Chief Judge Herrell and his comments on analysis on the season and certainly the judging aspect of it, what to look forward to, what artists should be aware of, and certainly the public supporting the events. The break and then back on Vaval Central the morning after the big semi-finals.
Thank you very much, Teddy. Vaval Central and the Caribbean Sound is sponsored by the Carnival Planning Management Committee, the Carnival Music Management Committee, Stamina Energy Drink, Blue Waters, Tropical Shipping, the Computer Store, UTV, Island Sounds, Lighting and Power Rentals, Ram J's Auto Parts.
The Carnival Planning and Miss Caribcation, Tyler Dilsuk, Miss St. Lucia Investments, Leanna Lewis, Miss Pierre Marcel, Shanice Butcher, Miss Caribbean Galaxy Real Estate, Chantel Edward, Miss First National Bank, Shanae Perrineau, Miss Fix, and Burnell St. Rose, Miss BOSL Digital. Tickets available from the Cell Outlets island-wide. Witness the crowning of the 2023 National Carnival Queen on Saturday, July 1st at the Pavilion on Rodney Bay from 8 p.m. Lucian Carnival. Answer the call to color.
Stamina Energy. Rise to the occasion.
Energy starts here. Yo, stamina energy. Still what I'm gonna energy. Still what I'm gonna energy is the truth to keep me pumping, baby. To keep me moving. To keep me grooving. To keep me pumping. All night and day. Energy rise. So go all night. It's stamina energy that give me life.
Stamina Energy. Rise to the occasion.
Patrice again. I go drink blue waters and mind my business. I go drink blue waters and mind my business. Who me? I only drink one brand. Blue waters inside the house and the band. When I need to hydrate, I drink blue waters. I'm feeling great. When you see we out on the road and we going hard, take a sip of blue waters. That's the #1 brand. Drink blue waters and mind my business. I go drink blue waters and mind my business. Me and you join in the blue water crew. The taste, the vibe, blue waters is the truth. When the hot sun come, I drink blue waters to cool me down. When you see we out on the road and we going hard,
shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. And you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load with tropical shipping. So we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with tropical. Can't wait. No package too big to small. I cannot wait to ship with tropical. No package too big to small. Just ship with tropical.
Tropical Shipping St. Lucia Limited, located on Manuel Street. Telephone number 4570900. Visit www.tropical.com.
Are you a small business owner looking for dependable IT support? Then look no further. TCS has the solutions to all your IT needs. Our experienced and qualified team of IT professionals has all your IT solutions. We provide wired and wireless networking, point of sale solutions, network security, data backup and recovery solutions, desktops and laptops, computer hardware and software, computer accessories, inks, toners, and much more. Don't let IT solutions cripple your operations or your ability to serve your clients. Call us today at 450-4638 or visit us on the ground floor of the American Drywall Building at Vidbutai. The Computer Store, meeting your demands in the IT world.
Warning. The Surgeon General cautions the public about the dangers of stress to their physical and mental well-being, and as such has dedicated July 14th as Mental Day. On Friday, July 14th, Red Unlimited and Radio Caribbean International present Color Me Red. Color Me Red. Mental Day.
Don't tell me about walk in the morning unless we talking hard work. Wine and down, wine up and down.
A day to forget your troubles, unwind, and recharge for Carnival 2023. Color Me Red with Cass the Band.
We gon' make them jump. We gon' make them turn up.
Cass the Band.
What you plan? What you say? Let me try.
Patrice Roberts. Patrice Roberts. Lyrical.
Everybody's on pop. That's why I win. I turn up the
Lyrical. Nyla Blackman. And more at the Darren Savvy Cricket Ground from 8 p.m. Tickets are available at Radio Caribbean International, Steve's Barbershop, The Cell, TM Antoine Partners, Courts, Travel and Leisure Center, and redevents.fourcirclestickets.com. Come experience the energy and lively atmosphere that is Color Me Red. Color Me Red. Mental Day, Friday, July 14th, is sponsored by Flow, Courts, Bounty, JP Chenet, Piton, Crystal Clear, the Barbados Tourism Authority, Rainforest Seafood, and St. Lucia Kings. Color Me Red. Don't miss it.
Somewhere between cerulean blue and golden yellow is a color called Lucian Carnival to mass, our soul, our heartbeat, our vibe. Nothing sweeter than our vibe. Center grounds. Calypso semi-finals, June 25th, National Cultural Center. National Carnival Queen Pageant, July 1st, The Pavilion, Rodney Bay. Intercommercial Calypso Competition, July 6th, The Saab, National Soca and Groovy Mall Junior Carnival. July 9th, William Peter Boulevard. National Panorama Competition, July 9th, The Saab, National King and Queen of the Bands. July 10th, The Saab, Juve. July 17th, Castries City Circuit, National Parades of the Bands. July 17th, and July. Welcome.
And we're back, Teddy.
No, you have to do it whole day. This is asking for the list as is the format with this, the official release of the results. Alphabetical order, just run through it, Iwa.
Mighty Sizzler, Mystic, Oshun, and Wally. Again, Mighty Sizzler, Mystic, Oshun, Queen Yards, Ready, TC Brown, T Blacks, T Caro, and Wally.
Interesting, the release of the results for the finals. The approach to both the soca and the Calypso finals. They've stuck to the 9 and kept it at 10 for quite a while. As they say, former Chief Judge Harold is here first. He'll be the feature interview. We really want to spend some time going through judging and the approaches to it. We'll have him on main stage, Iwa. Huh? Main stage, outside. You ready for him outside, Kisha? Yeah. Just to discuss different points as far as the judging persons yesterday raising a number of issues as simple like the fact that we want to discuss a little later, a simple fact that in the soca competition, in the Calypso competition, you could enter and qualify at different phases. You look forward to the songs chosen by the writers and the singers, but they do have the option at every phase of competition of changing the song or adjusting the song. That is not the case in the soca. No. It's interesting, and the reason for that, and should it continue, should we persist with that? Do they reserve the right to change? That's something worth discussing. Then the areas like the Pekong verse has been introduced in recent years. Almost perfunctorily, all the artists add the Pekong verse to it. They add the verse where in keeping the theme as much as possible, they threw Pekong at each other. It has become a staple almost to get the final impact, and hopefully with the crowd, both Calypso and soca are doing it quite a lot. It's an interesting feature. To what extent that helps, it hurts, how should it be executed, how should it be related to the theme, and there's just lots of other aspects. A number of persons raising yesterday the question of the balance. You mentioned it early in the season, the 2 songs, I remember, that as you need to try to get a balance, not to go too low in any of your songs to ensure you have a balance and both compositions score reasonably well. But as we say, the reminders on, we're going to get in a while to the national calendar of events, lots of big events very soon starting at the SAB. We'll go through that schedule, and reminder of this afternoon, the battle on for the 9 coveted places in each category in Groovy and Power. The 9 with the aspect of the prospect of competing against the respective reigning monarchs in Groovy and Power. You have a Groovy lineup, Ira?
Yes. Hollywood HP and T Blacks. One more song on Vaval Central.
Yo, Minor Production, alongside Hollywood. Boom, T Blacks, what you say? T Blacks in there. Na 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 na. Yo, officer, Mr. Officer. Give me one more chance to wind up on this girl. Not leaving this dance till I call she over. Get she number, book she all night long till I'm on it. Everybody's calling. Yo, tell the police, boom, wine and girl till the morning come. Yeah. Tell police we do a go. The party mad and we head that gun. Tell police we do a go. The bar and close bar we drinking rum. Tell police we do a go. Yo, Mr. DJ, show police how the things stay. One more song. Why? The party I saw no kill the vibes. One more song. The people happy, everything so nice. One more song. Hey, girl, them whining to the tune whole night. Tell police come join the fair, cause we not going home yet. My body aching, but I ain't going home till I get that wine. The blacks need that wine, girl. My money spending, so I ain't living until I'm satisfied. Right now, we are the hot. Yo, tell the police, boom, wine and girl till the morning come. Yeah. Tell police we do a go. The party mad and we head that gun. Tell police we do a go. The bar and close bar we drinking rum. Tell police we do a go. Yo, Mr. DJ, show police how the things stay. One more song. Why? The party I saw no kill the vibes. One more song. The people happy, everything so nice. One more song. Hey, girl, them whining to the tune whole night. Tell police come join the fair, cause we not going home yet. We not going home yet. We not going home yet. So, officer, we not going home yet. Officer, we don't want to stop the party. Tell police we don't have go. We don't want to stop the party. Tell police we don't have go. We don't want to stop the party. Tell police we don't have go. Tell police come join the fair, cause we not going home yet.
Minor Productions.
Hollywood HP and T Blacks, one more song on Vaval Central. Teddy?
Yes, as they say, judging and results are the big issue for the next couple of days. Mr. Herald is here to go through and clarify a number of issues. An interesting discussion too, as we say, there's no absolute authority in Calypso. The people have their different views, and so he would be giving his take on prime time, as it were. We put him on Vaval TV, Iwa.
All right.
Here is Vaval Central, and out there is what, Kisha? Vaval TV?
Vaval TV.
Right. So, you know, easy at all. Vaval Central. No, it's all Vaval Central, right? But the Vaval TV segments, right?
With breakfast.
With breakfast. Vaval TV with breakfast, a little breakfast fete, eh? We're going through. So we treat him royally. The tickets on people asking is $20. This comes through 6 o'clock over at the Cultural Center this afternoon, this evening. Groovy and then Power Soca. We want to go in a while. We go in with some ladies, but also Bangkok. Let's go with Frost, Iwa. Frost is the reigning Power Soca monarch. He really obliterated everything that was the field last year. One of the most fantastic performances in the history of Soca Monarch in St. Lucia. That, and going in at number one, there was just no contest after that. Really, at every stage in the competition, in his performance, he just flattened it. And it remains in the annals one of the best performances in a Soca Monarch. Both categories considered, he really was fantastic last year, and a lesson in how to present a Soca Monarch. There was nothing left to be done when he was finished. This year, what's it offering, Iwa, Frost, as we prepare for the semi-finals, the reigning monarch in
Bangkok.
Right.
To get recognition, Lucian women have to work. To get any award, you have to go to Bangkok. 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 Me partner woman is the brightest in she class. For every exam you know she bound to pass. Graduate from UE expecting plenty fame. Come home to lose shop to a top job so she claim. But no matter what she just can't get apply. Every day she just a sit down home and cry. So I'ma tell her to get through in her life. Just listen to me and take on me advice. To get recognition, Lucian woman have to work. To get any award, you have to go to Bangkok. 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 Get your degree from Bangkok. Bangkok. So all them women out there who want succeed, they start a trend now, so all your best take heed. Make up a lashes that go get you too far. If you ain't coming from Bangkok, we are stop. If you want to be a doctor or a nurse, boy, I suggest that you go to Bangkok first. Cause if you get your degree from over there, you could go back at home with no fear. To get recognition, Lucian woman have to work. To get any award, you have to go to Bangkok. 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 Get your degree from Bangkok. 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 Lynn Bangkok. Nadine Bangkok. Stanza Bangkok. Michelle Bangkok. Sophie Bangkok. Andrea Bangkok. Nicole Bangkok. Stacy Bangkok. Flora Bangkok. Lily Bangkok. Lulu Bangkok. Sally Bangkok. Emita Bangkok.
Frost, Bangkok, and Vaval Central. Teddy.
I see you bouncing, Iwa. You see you bouncing. You bouncing to Bangkok, boy. Bangkok. The results are in on the Facebook chat. How much reaction is there on the Facebook chat thus far? Not any great reaction either way. Persons want to know Well, you go through the 10th, the 10th affiliation. We read in different order. We read in random order. We read in alphabetical order. Now we're going to go with the 10th.
The 10th.
Go through it for them.
Mighty Sizzler, Fire 1. Mystic, Kaiso Pros Tent. Oshun, South Calypso Tent. Queen Yards, South Calypso Tent. Ready, Fire 1. TC Brown, Kaiso Pros Tent. T Caro, TOT, Soca Village. T Blacks, South Calypso Tent. Wally, TOT, Soca Village.
Right. And so our persons, of course, are asking one of the questions, asking Desrel. Interesting situation with Desrel. Desrel looks very likely now to try the approach we call in Kaiso the bomb song, where he will be waiting on the finals night to release that second song, and of course hoping it has great effect. History has recorded a number of occasions where that has certainly caused some dramatic reactions and results leading to the title. Pepper's done it at least twice,
Vida.
almost 3 times with a new song on finals night. Invader, famously with King Tonight.
I've heard Invader practicing and then he humming.
Right. It used to happen in the Reasons band room on the morning. Real drama in the Calypso days. So he'd come in and the new song, just humming it because nobody's supposed to know what he's singing. So, of course, at your own peril, because the humming alone, that means you could be off at the timing when you actually sing on the night. But the guys were experienced enough. That was the drama. And Invader was really responsible for a lot of the intrigue and drama and the build-up. Tyson, the one and only Floyd, the contribution, you come and start this story. As I said, when you want to measure people's contribution to the Calypso, just try to imagine them, withdraw them from the landscape. Had there been no Invader over the last 20-something years, and we mentioned a few others, take them out of the landscape, Ricky T, and then you see the immense contribution they have made, how much poorer our product and our festival would have been without their contribution. Big up in Ignatius, Invader Tyson, an absolute legend, an icon. And you were making the point that he did it, and he did it before with King Tonight, but also Just As I Am. Just As I Am wasn't sung before. That was a final, a big one on the night of competition. Just As I Am, I come tonight with no damn presentation. Mighty Sparrow who said to me, go on, Iwa, don't mind nobody. As I think Calypsonian, you must expect to get fight down. So it's then I realize, ain't no time for compromise. That's when I come and I win it twice. Bam, bam. Just as I am, I come tonight. This time, with no damn presentation. Mash them up, flatten. So there's that effect of singing that song on the night. And of course, Pep sang in recent vintage, he about 2010, with Taking a Chance. The song, he came with a song, Taking a Chance Tonight, referring to the very point of a new song, he and Sion and his team. And more recently, remember when he had the song with Walcott, about the doctor, the Doctor. That was a new song on the night. He tried it. He had the Walcott song, why Walcott cried or died. It has worked for some, it has fallen flat. Ashanti didn't have success when Ashanti tried the year of AIDS. Ashanti released Caribbean Unity. Yeah, remember that song? Caribbean Unity. Remember that, Iwa?
Not really.
It's either we swim together in Caribbean Unity or drown alone in the deep Caribbean Sea. Not so long, let we live as one. Unity is strong, we cannot go wrong. Why? Remember? The memory fading, boy. You can remember that? You remember that, Terrell? You remember that? And Mikey, all right? Mikey, it's all right. He said he's surprised. He's surprised there. He said next year, I have about 10 songs in a folder. About 10 songs in a folder, Iwa. Remember that song, Iwa?
No, I
don't remember that song?
No,
Unity
really,
is strong. We cannot go wrong, boy. I'm going to ask Karen to be in. Remember that song? A big one.
Well, Karen will know.
But I'm saying, he tried. He held that song back for the night, Ashanti, for the big night. And it didn't work. It just didn't work. It was a song that some songs you need the familiarity, you need the airplay for it to grow, for the public to get into it, and the singability becomes a factor. So you need to know which song you're leaving for the bomb. Those who have the powerful punchlines and so are something you have to look forward to. So a number of the big artists have tried the bomb song, the song on the night of competition, just released, and it's had effect. It's looking like, of course, there's still days for him to release it on radio. Iowa. He can. Some people do it, just release the radio version.
Does he have a new song?
Well, he must have a new song. Because that's what I'm talking about. Two songs he need, he must have a new one. Yeah,
only one he has
released so far. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, you thought you had done two? Only one. No, he's only done one. And using that one, trying at different speeds. I noticed he slowed it down after the first performance. Let's see what is going to happen when it comes to finals night. Unless your email pings away at a new release, a radio release, it looks like the team are going with.
I interviewed him backstage.
Right.
And I get that sense.
Right.
Knowing the guys you work with.
Right, the song is coming, so that adds some excitement to the finals. Other persons, two artists have indicated to me they're coming for a new song on the finals. Some say that and it never comes through because a big challenge, to come. We're going to go through a couple of people who had jitters yesterday, messed up some lines, repeated some, and all that led to the intrigue as far as the results here today. You did the tents for them. Give them the tents one more hour before we go on to some soca, and then we go over to the big stage with Mr. Herrell, who is the feature on what we call Listening Monday. That is education time today. You're not so, Keisha? You should have artists line up like mad during the week. Starting tomorrow, but we want people to take in and understand this thing today. You need to do that sometimes. So go through the tent, how the tents did in the results.
Thank you very much, Teddy. Mighty Sizzler, Fire One, Mystic, Kaiso Pros Tent, Oshun, South Calypso Tent, Queen Yards, South Calypso Tent, Ready, Fire One, TC Brown, Kaiso Pros Tent, KPT, T Caro, TOT Soca Village, T Blacks, South Calypso Tent, Wally, TOT Soca Village. 9.
Yeah. And we're going, let's feature, we did the Power Soca Monarch, let's feature some of the ladies. 3 ladies, you confirm, Keisha, you double checked. 3 ladies are, in fact, between the two. In fact, all 3 are in the Groovy. Yeah, 3 ladies in the Groovy, we have none in the Power. Keisha did a collaboration, and that didn't quite qualify. But we have 3 ladies in the Groovy. We really need some more ladies in the Soca. It's a nice feature, it's a very, some more ladies. So let's big up Keisha, Cupid, the soldier who's been there holding her own and being totally relevant, not just getting obliged. She's relevant and they're competing. She did very well up to last year. So Cupid, really inspiring the others. There is Keisha, and also there is Silji, who's really impressive her voice. Just do a little medley for them, Iwa, of the 3, and then we're taking a short break. Will we be at time check yet? Not yet? Maybe?
4 more minutes, yeah.
Right. So we're going to the medley of the ladies competing tonight over at the Cultural Center, 6 o'clock, going to be very exciting. And then we go on to main stage, Vaval TV part segment with the former Chief Judge, Mr. Herrell. Lots to discuss.
Thank you very much, Teddy. We begin with Sergi, Carnival Love.
This is a Ransom Beats production.
Calling Carnival.
Vaval Central.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but I know you remind me
Vaval Central celebrate. The time is now 9 o'clock. This time check is made possible by Ferrens Foods.
Feeling for something special, something good, something tasty, something smooth. When I think about all the flavors I can savor, I gotta have Ferrens ice cream.
I wanna have, I need to have a flavor that makes me glad. But the way I feel, it must be Ferrens ice cream. Chocolate coated ice cream bars, creamsicles I gotta have. Give me some fat free yogurt I need.
Ferrens ice cream.
Ferrens ice cream.
It's so delicious. Ferrens ice cream. Ferrens tastes so good. Ferrens ice cream. Whoa, I gotta have it. 'Cause only the best will do.
Ferrens ice cream, bringing back delicious memories.
And this half hour is made possible by W-Mart. Remember, customers do not complain about the prices at W-Mart. And there's a quick notice from our friends at W-Mart. The Castries store is moving to the Aquarius Crossing on Tuesday, July the 4th, 2023. And there's a huge sale happening at the old location on Friday, June 30th and Saturday, July the 1st. So you don't miss it. Now we have the specials for this week inside W-Mart. If you're looking for leg quarters, that is $4.50 a pound. Chicken tenders, $9.50. Chicken mid-wings is $5.75. Jumbo leg quarters, $3.99 a pound. Pork ribs, $7.99. Pork loin, $6.99. Breaded chicken, 8-piece, $3.95. Saltfish is $12.99 a pound. Inside
W-Mart, community made shop.
With outlets from Gros Lake to Soufriere, W-Mart is indeed your community shop, giving you the best prices and widest variety. We've got everything you need: chicken, turkey, beef, and pork, saltfish, pigtail, ham, all in stock. Delicious franks, nuggets, cheese, and fries. Prices you can't beat, and quality for sure. With 9 locations island-wide, W-Mart is your one-stop family meat shop. W-Mart, small store, big convenience.
Shop. W-Mart.
And Vaval Central in the Caribbean Sound is sponsored by the Carnival Planning Management Committee, the Carnival Music Management Committee, Stamina Energy Drink, Blue Waters, Tropical Shipping, the Computer Store, UTV, Island Sounds, Lighting and Power Rentals, and Ram J's Auto Parts.
The Carnival Planning and Management Committee invites you to the National Carnival Pageant, where 10 dazzling Carnival Queen hopefuls will stage an exquisite display of beauty, poise, charisma, and talent. Join the spectacle of color and artistry, vying for the coveted title: Akaya Chico, Miss Lavery Cooperative Credit Union; Aliel Fontenelle, Miss Harbor Club; Shadine Leonti, Miss Massey Stores; Maria Edmond, Miss Caribcation; Tyler Dilsuk, Miss St. Lucia Investments; Leanna Lewis, Miss Pierre Marcel; Shanice Butcher, Miss Caribbean Galaxy Real Estate; Chantal Edward, Miss First National Bank; Shanae Perrineau, Miss Fix; and Burnell St. Rose, Miss POSL Digital. Tickets available from the Cell Outlets island-wide. Witness the crowning of the 2023 National Carnival Queen on Saturday, July 1st at the Pavilion on Rodney Bay from 8 p.m. Lucian Carnival. Answer the call to color.
Are you a small business owner looking for dependable IT support? Then look no further. TCS has the solutions to all your IT needs. Our experienced and qualified team of IT professionals has all your IT solutions. We provide wired and wireless networking, point-of-sale solutions, network security, data backup and recovery solutions, desktops and laptops, computer hardware and software, computer accessories, inks, toners, and much more. Don't let IT solutions cripple your operations or your ability to serve your clients. Call us today at 450-4638 or visit us on the ground floor of the American Drywall Building at Vidbute. The Computer Store, meeting your demands in the IT world.
Stamina Energy. Rise to the occasion.
Energy starts here. Yo, stamina energy. It's the what I'm gonna energy. It's the what I'm gonna energy. It's the drink to keep me pumping, baby. To keep me moving. To keep me grooving. To keep me pumping. All night and day. Energy right. So go all night. It's stamina energy. That give me life.
Stamina Energy. Rise to the occasion.
sun bright. Drink blue waters and mind my business. I go drink blue waters and mind my business. Me and you join in the blue water crew. The taste, the vibe, blue waters is the truth. When the hot sun come, I drink blue waters to cool me down. Well, you see we out on the road and we going hard. Take a sip of blue waters. That's the number one. I go drink blue waters and mind my business.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff there to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load with tropical shipping. So we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with tropical. I can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with tropical. No package too big, too small. Just ship with tropical.
Tropical Shipping St. Lucia Limited, located on Manuel Street. Telephone number 4570900. Visit www.tropical.com.
It is a quick reminder to support the soca qualifiers happening this evening, 6 o'clock. It's actually at 6 p.m. at the National Cultural Center. Let me take you over to Teddy on UTV. Teddy, good morning.
Good morning, Iwa. The phone's buzzing, as persons are asking. The tickets, in fact, will be available at the Cell and at Steve's Barbershop. Good morning to Steve and Colady and the team. We know they locked on. Busy, Steve, that's your time, your season, boy. They can't leave you out. Steve's Barbershop and the Cell outlets for tickets, $20. They're also available at the venue from 2 hours before the event. From 4 o'clock, they'll be available over at the Cultural Center. You can go on there to buy your tickets. The parking, obviously, a lot more convenient and comfortable there. 4 o'clock at the venue at Cultural Center, 2 hours before the event, and also at the two outlets, the Cell, all the outlets, and also Steve's Barbershop. Mr. Herrell is here with us. You've been welcome to Vaval Central.
Thank you, Teddy. Morning to all Vaval listeners, Calypsonians, St. Lucia, good morning.
To all Vavalists, right.
Vavalists.
Right. We're talking finalists, semi-finalists, we have Vavalists. We your general impressions first, the season, and indeed what you saw last night.
Okay, the season on the whole, I just find it's too short. And I will make that comment here. I see no reason why we shouldn't have Calypso during jazz. That's one. Because of the short season, you find the Calypsonians, the artists, the mishaps that they do have is just because they do not have enough time with the song and the audience. Facing an audience to sing is a totally different story. So I just find our season is just too short. But having said so, I think it's an absolutely wonderful season. And somebody made the point, and Keisha reminded me, it's the year of the youth. I'm so happy to see from my own judgment and my own take from watching the show yesterday, I have no issues with the lineup. Absolutely no issues.
You have no issues with the results today?
No, no issues with the results today. I think it's a wonderful take. There's a balance of good voices, youth in between, a little experience there. So I think we're up for a very good, tight finals night. The reigning king have to prepare himself. There are some newcomers in there who are solid, very solid. Now, probably persons, again, Calypso is always controversial, yeah? By nature, you deal with issues which are already controversial issues, and you sing out controversy. So, out of that, the most talking points you would have heard over the years coming out of any show is about the judge's decision, right? As to whether the audience agree with the decision or not. But that is the decision, yeah? And that would be the talking point, and most times people think it is controversy. No, right. But Calypso is sung on controversial issues.
Right. And of course, the point we keep making, Calypso is sung on the night. So the fact that a song is popular ahead of the season, ahead of the competition night, is of no relevance. The judges start with a clean sheet and mark what they see on the stage, the performance and different areas. One point I've made is the need for balance. We've made it repeatedly on Vaval Central. You need to have balance, that you need to have not drop too low in either round. You need to have two good songs.
Yes, and that is important. Most persons, you hear this thing, one strong song. Both of your songs should be strong. I will not call names, but last night, there were not many balanced songs in the competition. If you could highlight one or two, and these are the persons who made it to the finals.
You're saying those who had two good songs in the 2 rounds?
Yes, in the 2 rounds. To pick out of the 18, the 36 songs, those who carried through with what the requirements of the criteria, which gave them that balance, they are the ones who made it tonight, last evening.
We touched on it last week, but you need to really drill down. The area of missing a line, repeating a line, fumbling, repeating half a verse, how you as an experienced chief judge, how are the judges, how is the panel supposed to deal with that? What do they consider?
Okay, and then that would fall on the performance section, where on rendition. Okay, in missing the line or repeating a verse, the question that you ask yourself as a judge, how does it affect the song and the performance? Now remember, a song, a calypso which is written is storytelling. Yeah? It must have a beginning and it must flow from verse to verse. I hope I get a chance just to go through the different elements or components of the judging criteria. So you treat that based on your opinion as a judge. You are listening. How does it affect the song? Did it put off the calypsonian? Was he able to have that smooth transition? There are artists who does it greatly. There are persons who fumble and then, you know, they miss.
It puts them off.
It puts them off. Not just that. The song in itself does not flow.
Right.
Okay?
Something called development of theme.
Yeah, we'll touch on that, right? So how much in doing so that it affects that particular song or his performance on the night in question?
Just related to that, the issues the public have been asking. In both competitions, soca and the calypso, it has become the custom of late for the artist to add that picong verse. Almost in every case, the last verse deals with throwing picong, throwing jabs at the rivals, but trying to keep it related to the theme. So they use a general theme and make the point that they are going to win the crown tonight and why the others are not going to win and what they're going to do to them. Some have done it successfully, particularly in the soca and indeed the calypso. Your take on how it is done, how it should be done, what does it affect?
Okay, again, like you mentioned, you highlighted, as long as it is keeping within the theme, the context of your lyrical content, right? You could throw picong, make it make sense. Make it make sense to what you are singing, and yes, although for me, doing it in calypso, there's nothing wrong. Is it relevant to the theme? Is it relevant to the topic? Is it relevant and does it fit in nicely? Is there a marriage between that 4 verse with the picong? Does it make sense? Does it captivate your theme, the essence of your song? And again, that is where creative writers, it's a good thing. It brings in some fun, it brings in some humor, and again, it must make sense and be relevant.
Keeping the thread
yes,
drawn.
Yeah.
Tell us, my observation last night, I was really struck, very good show, but a note I thought to a number of the artists, some of the songs were simply, a number of the songs, even some of the more established, the more successful ones, too long. Too long in the sense that they kept within the legal limit of time. But my opinion, I want your take on that, is that a song, every verse must add to the development of the theme, must add something new, must add something fresh. So once you flatten out and simply seem to be repeating the same message, a number of artists, and you heard it from the audience, came across as too long. One verse too many, in the end. Your own take on how the writers and the performers should treat that.
I'm smiling. So when you asked me to come on the show, I decided just to put down my own thoughts, and I wrote exactly what you're saying there, right? And I'm just saying, for one, for me, a good calypso ends at the 4th verse, right? You must, and then that comes in the composition aspect. That is where the judge would look at the criteria and then to make that judgment. Your lines must not be too long. There's something cut out, lean it down, yeah? when it has too many words in your lines, they tend to rush the calypso. It affects the delivery of your performance. Yeah? So, where you have 4 verses, by then you have gotten the message. You do not want to bore the audience, neither the judge. You do not want to lose them. You want to keep them with you. So on a finals night, like the pick-on section, you bring that could be short verses. But when those verses are too long, you are really going to now play in the minds of your judges and your audience. You're going to lose them.
There's one Trinidadian writer and exponent of calypso who has made the point, and indeed, that 3 verses are what makes to him a song. By then, you should have made the point, which is why he welcomes the pick-on verse as the 4th. So by 3 verses, the point ought to be made. But further, my strong point is that every verse is supposed to add to the development of the story. If you're not saying anything new, it becomes then.
And then that is where, again, we come on the theme and the composition of the writing. It must develop. It must make sense. It's pointless you sing 5 verses and you are saying something different. And hence the reason, I heard it last night. Person sang last night and you were lost. Because there was no development of that theme. The lyrical content just was not there. The composition just was not there. You understand? Because it was all over the place.
Right. And what were you impressed with generally, the season and last night? What have you been impressed with?
Of KPT tent, the ladies in there, I think there are some powerful voices, some who made it, who didn't make it. And for me, calypso is alive. What I heard last night, what I heard from the schools, and if we get some, I would love to see some new writers come in. For those, Face, Happy, you know, Suku and Sion, they must have that transition of bringing new persons. And I hope persons would be interested to come and do that. Because they are on their way out too. They have contributed. But we have young persons who are coming into it with talent. We need young writers. We need more writers. You understand?
We don't have time to go through all, but some of the points that you had planned to go through, you could go through some of them, the key ones.
Oh, in terms of the criteria?
Yes.
Well, so basically, just to touch base, so in the criteria, most persons, like I speak of controversy, and the audience already have who the artists are. Everybody have a fan base, but do they really understand the criteria? And the criteria is made up of your lyrical content, all right? And that is broken down into the theme, the wordcraft, composition, and creativity. And the theme is an idea, all right, that the writer or the calypsonian repeats throughout his song. Sometimes they sing the 3rd verse, 2nd verse, and they lost the theme. You understand? Then we look at the wordcraft. Now, wordcraft is the skill of the writer, how they play with the words, the rhetoric. That is your wordcraft. The composition is how well that piece is put together, the use of your words. You could say so many things.
And the marriage of music and lyrics.
Yes, yes. The creativity now is using, and I saw some creative things happen last night, right? Your imagination, how well that you put your ideas into that song. Then we have music. Music has melody. It has arrangement and innovation based on the criteria. How well that musical, which is the harmony, the melody, how well that marries with the song that you're singing. But the biggest one for me in this judging criteria is your presentation. Now, performance, what people call presentation, most times, I try to correct it, appears to be the theatrics. That's not
dramatization.
That is 5 points you get for that, and it is called demonstration. Presentation is how you deliver that song, how you interpret that song that you're singing, how you present that to the audience on the night of competition. Demonstration, whether you come in with a car, an aircraft, a rocket, and if I come just as I am with no presentation, and it suits your film, you get the same 5 points.
Interesting. We're hearing you. We've heard judges in the past, but the public are of the view, many calypso pundits, that the judges are only human beings, that if you have a scintillating presentation that sends the crowd crazy, it begins to win favor with the judges, who are only human beings in the park of 4,000 persons screaming and shouting, as has happened in some monarchs in the past. The likes of Pep have already blown the park away, and they argue that it does have a psychological effect in winning favor with the judges.
Again, a well-trained judge who understands the job that he or she is doing, that should have no bearing on you. If you understand very well what is the presentation and what is the demonstration, you know this is what you give. And that's perception. Persons will think, because to us, when we speak presentation, he had a wonderful presentation, but the criteria in itself speaks to something totally different. And then an experienced judge, and this is where, and I'd even advise judges to go and read Isaiah Hall's Calypso Handbook. You understand? It speaks of emotional biasness. Yeah? So that should not sway you, because the crowd loves the song, because you get no points for crowd response in that aspect of the competition. You get it for the power. Yeah? You don't even get it for the groovy. So an experienced judge who understands should not allow the crowd reaction to decide how you judge a song. Because you judge a song and you listen to the song, you listen to the music, right, and you look at the performance. I've always said this is not a singing competition. This is a song competition. And by virtue of a song competition, then you put in the elements of singing, which you sing in key, you understand? You hold a note.
Right. And the point has been made, many musicians in particular have challenged the authority of the judges, their qualifications to judge compositions. There used to be a time when it was mandatory to have a trained musician or someone with experience in music at a technical level to be on the panel. Many argue that the category called music, that's significant in both calypso and soca, you have technical areas like change of key and so on. If it is a panel with no trained musician, how does that work? And the whole question of having some specialists on the musical talent and expertise on the panel, how necessary you find it? Some argue it is very necessary.
It is necessary, and for the years that I held on as chief judge, not many musicians that we do have on the panel, but I try maybe for the bigger competitions to have that kind of person in between there. And it is important that he or she can also share his experience, or if you miss something as a judge. I remember when I'll call Wally, who sang Stop, Full Stop, and there was that break, which the bridge and persons thought he forgot. And then we had a musician on and understand and explain. No. So with that person, and hence the reason that don't think you should have a specialist which have been tried and tested before for each component of the criteria. No.
Right. No. It's around it. Now the big issue, since the last few years, they've stopped deliberation. That's a very interesting aspect. The judges judge each round, and your score sheets are taken from you and gone into a computer to tabulate. There is no room for deliberation. You're not allowed to discuss. And sometimes judges are shocked what comes out of that computer. They themselves, they almost all agree that that's not how I had it. But the tabulation, especially with striking off the highest and the lowest, throws it off. Your take on this approach?
Right. Now, the experts can say what they want. For me, it worked. Deliberations work. I served as chief judge for well over 12 years, thereabout. I believe in deliberation because, and I do not know what you want to ask me, but I put my note. I believe a judge must be able and be in a position to defend his or her score. I am the chief judge. I am the one who looks at the scores before it goes anywhere, right? I tabulate into my own system, whatever. Now, if there's a disparity, and one particular judge gives somebody 85, another judge gives somebody 60, I have a problem there. They're watching two different shows, and I need to understand that, because the fact is, I am the one that will go and defend their position, and I need to understand how you arrive at what you arrived at. I will be the one dealing with the public, the PR person, so I need to understand what did you see or what did you understand. It's not about influencing you to change your score. And it also tells me of your competence. So I think deliberation is an important aspect of judging. You go to criminal cases, you're going to deliberate on a matter. It's not about changing scores or changing who should win. And it worked for me, and the persons who have served with me can tell you there's no skullduggery, and I think it is almost a learning exercise during deliberation.
So I want to clarify, yes, learning exercise, you are saying that during your time there was no changing of scores. So.
No. Well, let's put it that way. Again, with the experienced persons, that somebody gives you 60, somebody gives somebody 80. That's a disparity of almost 20 odd points. I would ask you what you see. And are you comfortable with all of what we think we heard or see? It is at your discretion. I don't force it upon you. And of course it should change.
They have the right to change.
They should change it because they have missed something that we will explain collectively. Not one person is influencing you. That's different. If you don't want to change it and leave it so, then I will know why my judge gave that score and your notes. The problem that we have that the judges hardly put comments, and I want to see something. You cannot score somebody and you cannot say something about the composition, their performance, or the musical element of the song.
Yeah. We never have enough time to discuss judging issues. The producers indicate we're almost out of time, Keisha. A few minutes left. The soca, we must touch on it. The groovy and power soca monarch approach. The crowd response you mentioned, it is not in a significant way outlined in the criteria, but many argue it is very important. When the crowd is going crazy in soca now, how does the judge, both are in power and groovy, because now
power on the criteria and the judging score should make provision for
crowd response. The groovy, does the groovy do it?
No.
Right, so let's deal with the groovy. But the groovy now in the big open space, some people argue the approach is similar to power nowadays, the weaving and persons working into the song. In a groovy soca monarch, how do you deal with the tremendous crowd response from artist to artist?
Okay, then that's where the judge comes in, and then the criteria speaks to, if my memory serves me right, the groove, how you move the crowd, you know, in the performance, somewhere in the criteria, it speaks to that. So if you could get persons to sway and move, that means the song have groove. You have to treat the song accordingly, but there's not points that you get for crowd response. Because regardless what, the crowd always responds somehow with your fan base. And that's why you have 7 judges. You just use your discretion. If you think that in the power, you had the entire sub for that sound in question, or just people who are just lackluster and it didn't move them. It should move you to as a judge, and you treat the song accordingly.
We heard it from Mr. Herald, who's been a very experienced chief judge. Are you coming back next year to judge?
Yeah, I'm giving it some forte, Teddy. I think every year I get that cry, I get that call. I would like to come back and help to bring the judging back somewhere where it was before.
Yeah. All right. We want to, this show has really grown, and we want to say thanks to Liza, Keisha, and so. Remember, tomorrow is bumper. Keisha, you have a long list of artists all week fighting to get here. We dedicate today Listening Monday. We always try to deal with the substance, but you now are coming on, Keisha St. Helen, to do justice to the sponsors that Liza has worked so hard for. Liza won't forgive us. So just go through the sponsors, Keisha.
All right, so quickly mentioning all our sponsors, of course, those who've made it possible. I've put on, we have the pictures of the lovely breakfast spread. Let's say hello to Cream and Bean, Massey Stores, that's their guiltless yogurt. It's beautiful, I love it. Ferrens Food Products, Sabel Carnival Accessories. We have Cadas Bakery, who's been serving St. Lucia for the last 50 years. As a matter of fact, I'm just told that the location in Central Castries has been refurbished, and they do savory pastries, they do traditional cakes. 50 years, still standing strong, and they've added to our lovely breakfast. Thank you so much, Cadas Bakery. Sweet M's Delicacies, they've come through. We did not get our cake on Friday because you know there was a storm, but we have lovely cupcakes today. Thank you so much. Lumnat Distributors Limited, These Event Guys, Creamery Novelties, Massey Distribution, and so much more. Thank you so much. We have our general sponsors. Yes, they reminded me. Rituals Coffee House, thank you again. They come through during the week. Blue Water St. Lucia, the Computer Store, Ram J's Auto Parts. We're looking at Island Sounds, Tropical Shipping, UTV, Calypso Music Management Committee, Stamina Energy Drink, Lighting and Power Rentals, and of course CPMC. Thank you so much for making Vaval Central possible. And of course we have Teddy keeps saying, and we have Vaval TV with the breakfast. Thank you again.
UTV, Brandon, they're looking on. Of course, the person's really warming to the TV aspect, cable TV. Bumper back down from the modeling, the fashion show. There's a big fashion show in Carnival. Export the Runway. That is on the 5th of July. Good morning to Glenfield, Suita and Company. They'll be in tomorrow with their models, Glenfield, here on Vaval Central. All to look forward to. All the artists, remember, Keisha confirming, wanted a break today. Nobody wanted to perform anywhere before tonight. They're resting their voices. It's a big day for them. We quite understood, and it fell well with today being what we call Listening Monday on Vaval Central, Vaval TV segment. And so we're looking forward. The tickets are available at the cell and also at Steve's Barber Shop. 4 o'clock at the venue. You can get your tickets today. Persons have lots of interest. It's a very important show. The talent and the level, the quality is very high this year. We're supporting our national artists, wishing everybody the best, and may the most deserving people qualify. Remember, it's not the songs on the radio, it's how they perform today, right, Mr. Heron?
Certainly.
How you perform. So don't prejudge and go to sing that song, and that is the performance. Soca is very much on the performance aspect. We're looking forward to that. Your final thoughts, as Keisha indicates, we're just about out of time. Yeah. Iwa has his show to continue. Final thoughts in 1 minute.
Okay, first of all, I just honestly would take this time to thank people like Phil Jensen Pri for bringing me into this Calypso art form, and I really absolutely love Calypso. My words, a few words to the judges. A judge, remember, you could make a Calypsonian, you could kill a writer. You know, remove all biases that you have and judge the song for the night in question, the performance for the night in question. Nothing else comes into play. And this is where a chief judge is important, and this is where deliberations is important. Yeah, it is.
You made the point very clearly. That is certainly something to be considered. As we go forward, good morning to Claude Paul. You heard clearly, he's going to consider with his team. Vaval Central tomorrow, bumper from Kiddies Carnival to soca artists, to carnival bands. They'll all be here along with the Panmen. Remember, the Vaval Central being well received. The Pan Association has requested that they do the dipping live on Vaval Central come Thursday for the order of performance. All aspects of carnival represented tomorrow, and throughout the week, Keisha, who's been handling some of the bookings, is overstretched. We can't have everybody on Vaval Central. It will be bumper throughout the week. Big up UTV. We have big up Hyper much, eh? The great Hyper D, producer supreme, as we and we back here tomorrow at 8 o'clock with a bumper program throughout the week as we go towards Carnival. Euphoria, Color Me Red will come into the action to all the big activities, the big fetes. Good morning to Teddy and Company. Back tomorrow, 8 o'clock, Vaval TV, a segment of Vaval Central.
Thank you very much, Teddy and Team RCI. Just want to let you know that we've come to the end of the half hour made possible by WMAT. And today inside WMAT, in fact, for this week at WMAT, the specials, leg quarters,